Welcome to the Programming Lines podcast. Today we have truth.bomb.mom. First, can you just tell us about yourself and what truth.bomb.mom means?
Yeah, of course. I'm a mom of 4. I'm a Christian conservative, and I'm also very into MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. And Truth Bomb Mom just means I'm going to be dropping truth bombs all the time, whether you like it or
Nice.
not, whether it hurts your feelings, and you kind of just have to deal with it.
Okay,
I like that.
that's fair.
And then just going straight into the other topics, you mentioned MAHA, and I haven't heard a lot about that lately. So I'm just wondering, have you heard anything?
We heard MAHA was
Really
all over
big
the
a little
place
while
going
ago.
into the last election and coming out of the last election, and then it seems to have quieted down. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I think that RFK is fighting a lot of big battles behind the scenes. I know he's trying his best, especially with the childhood vaccine stuff. I know that Trump is really listening to RFK when it comes to the childhood vaccine schedule. So I think we're going to be hearing more over time. Unfortunately, Americans' health always goes on the back burner. It's just one of those things where there's so many other issues that health just seems to always go on the back burner. But yeah, I did hear Trump talk about spraying the skies. Did you guys see that clip where he talked about, we shouldn't be spraying the skies?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? This is amazing.
I know.
Who is this
That's
guy?
nice.
We don't want to put chemicals into the air for everybody. Come on.
Yeah.
It seems-
Yeah.
But I mean, the conspiracy theories, they're actually true. And the fact that this administration is realizing that and recognizing that is huge.
Right.
Yeah. So going a little bit on from that, because there's a lot of bad stuff in our food. And speaking of that, our mom has been addicted to that a lot lately, about trying to find the bad things and getting us the better stuff. So she did a Parasite Cleanse, and she was very mad when nothing came out of her. So, and I've heard that actually that you've done a Parasite Cleanse. So can you maybe tell us a little bit about that? Maybe if you've seen anything, possibly.
Yes. Okay, so we started on the health journey as far as parasites go years ago. It's actually really more complex than people realize. First of all, there's a lot of microscopic parasites. So you're not always going to see something, and people do get really hyped up. I'm going to see these big worms come out of me, and they don't.
Yeah.
But really, when it comes to that side, at least, if you're feeling better, are your random headaches, your tinnitus, your eczema, are these issues going away? Then maybe your Parasite Cleanse worked. However, on the other side of that, what a lot of people don't know, and a lot of these Parasite Cleanses don't address, is that you have to have a binder with your Parasite Cleanse that binds to the toxins, the heavy metals, the bacteria, the fungus, the mold. That's what parasites eat. That's their food source. And they actually create these little biofilms. So that's their cozy home, and the biofilm is made of toxins. So you have to actually start breaking that down first with your binder. So some people use a zeolite or activated charcoal or ivermectin.
Oh my
But
gosh.
if you don't have the binder, ivermectin can't really do its job.
Right.
Because the parasites, some of them will hide even deeper in the body. Some of them will realize they're being attacked. They're pretty smart, and they'll make more parasites. So it's one of those things where that's the education piece that I work on is make sure you have a binder to go with your cleanse.
Do most of the cleanses provide that with them?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
They're kind of being irresponsible.
Do you have a suggestion? Because it's a lot of research to go into it, but
Yeah.
maybe you could just, if you had a suggestion, then people could just do that, right?
Yeah,
totally.
What would you recommend?
Yeah. I would recommend zeolites, clinoptilite zeolites. They have 300 PubMed studies on them.
Okay.
And actually, that's a product I use and promote because I believe in it so
Okay.
much. And our family, we use that every day of the week, all year, because of our water, our food, our air.
Yeah.
Everything has toxins, so you might as well.
Right.
It's very safe and gentle for ages 1 and up. And, you can go to the link in my bio if you're looking at me on Instagram, and you can check it out there. But that is what I recommend everybody do for 1 to 2 months. It's going to break down the biofilms and the toxins. And then when you go in with your Parasite Cleanse, they're going to come out.
Wow.
Okay,
Well,
so
maybe
that's
we'll have to
Mom did
retry
wrong.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was hoping to like look into the toilet and see like a bed of vipers in there. I don't know what she was hoping for, but something more obvious than what happened. But to your point, like a lot of these things are micro levels that you might not even see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my first Parasite Cleanse actually, well, before it, I had my blood analyzed under a microscope, and I saw microscopic parasites.
Is that right?
Swimming in my bloodstream.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know, and I knew it because I didn't feel good at all, and I was like, there they are, like I knew it.
Now I kind of wish I didn't ask, because now I'm grossed out. Now I don't think I'll be able to eat the rest of the day.
You'll be fine. When you get hungry, it'll all change, Will.
Yeah, right?
I'm hungry right now.
Parasites aside.
Let's just hope that I forget about this during that time when I'm eating.
Right,
and then we
right.
can maybe go back into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So going off that weird topic, let's go. And what brought you to AmFest here?
Well, I was invited, which is so cool. You know, I started on Instagram 4 years ago, literally just like ranting and raving and being really mad about, you know, trying to take our medical freedom away.
Yeah.
And I just used it as a therapeutic tool because my in-laws actually were very like NPR, CNN. They wouldn't see us for 18 months, and my kids were crying, as you can imagine, not being able to see your grandparents for 18 months.
Wow.
And I just was like, I need to get all this stuff off my chest that I've been holding in for years. I had all these screenshots I collected and data. So I literally just started talking, and it blew up. And then I got invited here last year, and being able to like be a part of Turning Point and what they're doing and partner with them has been like such a huge blessing, a privilege. Like I kind of have imposter syndrome. Like, do I even belong here? Like,
yeah. It's
know,
a great,
who am I
it's a great organization
It is.
and great people. So when you started speaking out around COVID time, did you get blacklisted or your account get flagged or anything like that when you were speaking out?
Oh yes, I had. So my first account, within 6 months, I was shadow banned.
Oh.
And it was the worst shadow ban, and it lasted for 8 months. So I started a second account. I got that one to grow pretty fast. That one got shadow banned. And I literally just kept posting. I was like, nothing is going to stop me. Nothing's going to hold me back.
Yeah.
And somehow, from like views and likes and shares, it broke the shadow bans.
Yeah.
But it was just like me being like, I don't care. I've got to get this out. The system is like,
how do you recognize a shadow ban? I'm curious.
all of a sudden, like you're getting follows, likes, views, and then you get nothing. It's like silence.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
probably
I think
had that happen then a few
we've been
times.
subject to that a few times. We go through cycles, and then we'll have like a post that breaks the chain, sort of.
Yeah.
And then the account grows really fast again, and then it just suddenly stops again. It's kind of a weird cycle.
Yeah, it is super weird. I'm in that right now. I'm in some kind of weird, low vibrational thing.
That's why, I tell people, like, just, continue to be consistent, because you just never know, like, when one thing's going to kind of break through, and then you'll get all this exposure and people will want to see the things that you put out. So, we've been in that universe too. It's kind of tricky, and navigating social media.
Yeah, and I mean, I heard Gary Vee say this one time. He was like, imagine you're talking to 50 people in a room. If that's all that hears you, that's 50 people that you're making an impact on, or 100 or 300. Like, don't be mad about the low views, or you're still making an impact on real people.
Right.
So I always think about who's the one or two or whatever, however many people that I'm speaking to that need to hear what I have to say.
You must get a lot of hate too, right?
Not as much anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, now that I'm saying things about like I kind of said a little bit about Candace Owens and Erica Kirk.
Sure.
Of course, the conservatives like came out. I was like, you guys are really like, you're not thinking clearly. But anyway, back in the day, I used to get tons of hate.
Sure.
Like death threats. We had 3 people try to, whatever you call it, like legal action against us, take legal action against us.
Okay. Yeah.
My husband's business, we have a local business, and we had clients leaving and telling us we were hateful and I was a horrible person, and their kids weren't safe around us because we have a client-based business where we serve families.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous because we had known these people for like 8 years, and we had given them jobs, and like done so much for them, and for them to act like that just because of some stuff I said they didn't like was outrageous.
It is. It's wild because a lot of people just associate if you support anything related to Trump. Doesn't even mean you have to say out like pound on the table about Trump, Trump, Trump every day. But if you support MAHA, for example, like Make America Healthy, we had people just not like us because we support this thing that got kind of affiliated with Trump. And so there's like this Trump derangement syndrome is real, I guess is what I'm saying. And people will associate anything to it. Like if you support one policy of his, that you are now like, devil, demon, Trump supporter. And so I think that is also what happened with MAHA. But ultimately, like, I think it was great because MAHA kind of connecting, with the Trump movement, got it into fruition, got it a bigger voice, and RFK can get things done now. Like we liked RFK before he aligned with Trump and his message and the things that he was doing. And so seeing them come together, I think just allowed us to capitalize on the moment and get more things done.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like MAHA is where a lot of like liberals and conservatives align.
Yes.
On the food and the dyes and all these things.
I mean, we used to, but now they're popping Tylenol, being pregnant, just to spite them.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It's insane.
But actually, last year when I left AmFest, I had my Make America Healthy hat on the plane. And the flight attendants were very liberal. Mm-hmm. And I went to use the bathroom, and the flight attendant, who I could tell was LGBTQ, immediately he's like, "What does your hat mean?" And I could tell he was kind of like on edge, feeling like really kind of like his walls were up towards me.
Yeah.
And I just started explaining, well, we're trying to get glyphosate, trying to get them to stop doing that on spraying it on crops, and trying to get chemtrails banned and the red dyes. And he was like, actually, I really agree with you there. Mm-hmm. And he thanked me. He said, thank you for telling me that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I just think there's not enough information about MAHA and what it means and how it connects to the Trump administration.
Right. I actually like being slightly critical of MAHA. I think they could do a better job on getting their message out there, the marketing of the things that they are prioritizing and pushing, because they almost get taken too far down the Trump rabbit hole and TDS alignment, because they are doing incredible things to keep the population safe. Like you said, pesticides, Red 40's been banned. I think that's going to be effective in a few years. But like those are good steps towards healthier population. And so that's so important for our country. And I wish people would just split the Trump derangement syndrome from Making America Healthy so that we can focus on, what's good for Americans.
Totally.
Yeah. Also, it's weird because like they haven't really been posting that much lately. I remember in the very beginning of Trump's, they were basically banning a bunch of things like Red 40. Mm-hmm. And like last night we were coming up with the questions. I was like, oh yeah, MAHA exists, because I totally forgot that they were around because they haven't really been doing anything lately.
Yeah.
They have been. I think it's just
I haven't seen anything because I haven't looked.
Yeah, to Adele's point, I think it's just been more like administrative behind the scenes, and it's difficult once you get into the slog of that. It's like heavy. Yeah. But anyway, what else we got?
I have been very interested in homeschooling lately.
Oh.
As Dad and Mom might know.
He's put forward a compelling case, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I am curious, what would you say to like somebody who is on the edge of like homeschooling or just may staying in like a charter public or private school? What are some main reasons why somebody should homeschool?
That's a great question. So for us, I think there was like a pull towards it. So just an internal pull, like I'm very curious about this. So when you have that, it's important to really go down that rabbit hole. But for us, we really wanted more flexibility. We felt my daughter does dance 4 days a week. My kids do this ninja thing. I feel like we're always running around. There's soccer, there's church, there's this and that. And we were like, oh my gosh, we're in some kind of grind. We never have time to just like hang out and just be together. So and my kids' school had really let us down in many, many ways that were kind of came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So we were like, you know what, let's just pull them out and let's just like see what happens and let God take the wheel here. Mm-hmm. And the first 6 months, we really didn't do any school because people said you need to like detox from school, which I thought was interesting. But I really did start to see it because I was like, okay, we're going to sit down and do our books. And our kids were like, no, we're not. And I was like, okay, maybe we need to rethink how we do this. So I literally just was like, okay, you have your chores. We have this to go to or that to go to. And I just let them get really, really bored. And they did like their own spelling bee. They did like a lemonade stand. They started just doing all these really cool, creative things.
Dad, you thinking more about this maybe?
Maybe.
I love that you want to do it.
I really want to
so
do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys are like not even like a voice in his head. He just kind of wants to do it. You want to do it.
Well, at school, I feel like we waste a lot of our time. Like we're at school for like 7 hours a day, and half of those I feel like are pretty unnecessary, and half of those I feel like maybe we could do more of. Like I love math.
Oh my gosh.
And we only have 1 hour of math per day. It's so hard to squeeze the entire lesson in, and like now that we're doing algebra, it's harder to like remember it all.
Right.
Meanwhile, with like, for example, literature and composition, we have an entire hour of that, and often we have too much time. Like this year, basically for the last 30 minutes, we've been reading our homework in class because there's not really anything else to do. It's also the same with like, for example, music, art, right? Those things. If you really like those, you can do those maybe. Yeah. Meanwhile, like you don't need to do those if you don't want to.
Or you also have to study the language that they have available and push in the school. So
we're studying Latin for some reason.
Yeah. Well, Latin is like a base.
Latin is a base language,
but before that it was French.
You're not gonna like read anything.
It's like unless you go to France or parts of Canada. So for us living in Phoenix, obviously Spanish would be
very helpful.
Like a very helpful language. I can choose the language that I want to learn instead of one that I have to learn, and then more interested in it, and then you're more apt to actually learn it and use it. So anyway, but we're learning Russian now of all things.
Yeah. Well, crazy story. Basically, during kind of like fall break, we went to Russia for 2 weeks and spent some days at St. Petersburg, Moscow, and Sochi. Now Dad loves that place, and Mom also does like that place a little bit.
Yeah.
And
have you been?
I have.
Oh, really?
Russia.
Where did you go?
It's so fun.
I went to St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Okay. Yeah.
Those two places are so amazing.
I mean, they get a lot of bad stigma because of politics and leadership, but you put that aside, and
like the history there is beautiful.
It's incredible.
I know the Onion Dome churches. When I first saw those, I was like, they look like they're out of a dream.
Yeah.
They're just incredible.
Dude, you should have gone to St. Petersburg. That
she did.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you said Sochi and Moscow.
Wait, did you see St. Isaac's Cathedral?
Probably. This was a long time ago when I was in college, so I couldn't tell you all the places I went, but I just remember being like, this is one of the most amazing places I've ever been. And we got to hang out with the locals, and they were really awesome.
Yeah. People there were really nice, very kind and helpful. And so, well, anyway.
And thin. Very thin. Did you notice when you were there?
Yes.
We only saw one homeless person also.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't see a gum wrapper on the ground. That's how clean it was. But yes, people were generally, maybe the men were a little bit bigger on average than, like the women were all very like thin, healthy. But they, as far as I could see, they don't eat a lot of heavily processed foods like we do here. They have built in now some fast food chains and things in the cities especially. But outside of that, it's a lot of just local farmers and grown foods.
They do vape a lot.
They vape a lot. Everybody's vaping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny because their restaurants there, like the fast food restaurants, are basically rip-offs of this place.
Oh, really?
Like they have Stars Coffee, Ruxus Chicken or whatever. It's like a rip-off of KFC.
Oh, okay.
They basically use the exact same logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they
names.
were.
It's so fun.
I think they were offshoots of American brands, but they had to rebrand them during the sanctions and push ownership around. But well, anyway, we digress on Russia. Let's get back to health, huh?
Or homeschooling.
Yes, homeschooling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So homeschooling, you can just specialize it, and you can go really, like if you really wanted to learn Spanish all the way, you would have the time to do that. Or music, or any kind of specialized thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool about it.
How do you deal with the social? A lot of people, their objection is, well, they won't get all the social interaction. So how do you adjust for that?
I mean, school is not very social, right? You're sitting in a classroom. You have to be quiet.
It's
You're
more
not
of an
allowed-
obedience test.
Right. You're not allowed to talk to the people sitting next to you. You're only allowed to talk to them at recess or in the hall. So I don't necessarily agree with that. Homeschooling, you can go a million different activities. You can get your kids involved in as many things as you want to with tons of different kids, tons of different ages. So there's tons of opportunity to be social. And what I've noticed is that the homeschool kids are really kind, just really nice, kind kids. We actually, the neighborhood we live in is all public school kids because it's a K through 8 public school. We live in a pretty nice, safe area.
Yeah.
They all walk there, and our kids are pretty much the only ones that don't go there. And the kids that they interact with are mean. They're very cliquey. They're kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Things they say, and maybe that's just we're exposed to. You seem like a great kid.
Thank you.
But I'm like, why is there such a big difference?
We get a lot of engagement from young people on social media. You can tell just by the things that they say and sometimes their account profiles that they're young, and the level of like vile, disgusting things that they say. I don't know if they get some kind of weird satisfaction out of that. It's disturbing, to say the least. So.
Yeah. Mom, I hope you heard that over there, because this is very important to listen to.
We'll okay, yes, we'll.
Do you go to private?
We go to a charter school, so like kind of right in the middle, but yeah.
It's actually a very good school, but because
It's
they are a charter
classical
school,
education.
they have
Yeah.
the teachers are great. The curriculum is great. It's classical education, but they do have to abide by certain state standards and everything. And so, yeah, we do feel like there's time optimization issues, and so.
Yeah.
But at any rate, it's good to hear that you're having luck with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that maybe change your guys' mind a little bit,
We will.
because I really want to
Yeah,
Okay.
save
I
some
will
time.
say that the only, it's a lot on the parents
Uh-huh.
when you homeschool. So it's just things to weigh and consider. But if you're self-motivated, if you're driven and you can get your work done and they can just kindly say, like, do your work and you do it, then it's not as hard on the parents. It's the kids who you're like, okay, do this page, do that page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you guys could be each other's like teacher. You could come up with the
I would
curriculum.
make sure.
No.
I would make sure
No.
Max actually
No.
gets his work done. Yeah, Max, I'll make you do 3 hours of math per day. I know you love math, don't you?
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
He'll be giving you your grades.
No.
Yes, I like this
Yes.
idea. This will keep you guys accountable.
So what do you like in school? What subjects are you enjoying?
Dismissal.
Dismissal. Okay.
That's not a subject, Max.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or I guess the one, I have a lot of freedom in history, and then also that's, history, that's my favorite subject. But we can also talk in that subject.
Lyceum.
Lyceum, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You're weird.
Well, let's do this. Let's wrap it up. Final question, Adele, is what would you do or say to parents out there that are trying to motivate their kids into being good, strong, young leaders? That's what we are all about. But I would love to have your advice as we kind of wrap things up.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm also trying to do that very much. I think raising them right is really key. Like what you expose them to is very vital to who they become, and also what you say to them. We're constantly saying, you're a leader. We're not going to do things like everybody else does things. We do things our way. We follow God. We do what God tells us to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the direction we're going.
Mhm.
And we're just always saying it, always. And we find that our kids will come to us and say, these kids are doing that. And I'm like, well, we don't do it that way.
Right.
So I think it's just one of those things you say all the time. You really help them to understand like the vision of the family, the vision of how they ought to be as a human.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So values and faith and kind of reiterating that.
And
all right.
speaking that life into them.
Yeah. That's good. That sounds similar to our attempts. It's not always easy, is it, boys? Yeah.
No, parenting is very difficult.
It is. I tell them, like, you don't realize it, but one day when you're a parent, you'll realize it's the most rewarding, but also the most challenging task you'll probably ever have.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Where can people find you on any social media?
So I'm primarily on Instagram at truth.bomb.mom, and I've tried TikTok. TikTok doesn't like me, so I just stick with what works. And
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook under AdeleFreedom.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll link those in so people can check you out.
Thank you.
We love your work and the voice that you have out there. So keep up the great work. And thanks so much for taking time with us here at
Yeah.
America Fest.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having
Yeah,
me.
thank
You
you.
guys are awesome.